What is up, y'all? I'm the Jammin' Outdoors, and this is my channel. So I'm back here finally with the GSXR 1000. So I got everything back from powdercoat, and in this video I'm going to do some maintenance on the motor. I'm going to sandblast the clutch cover and then Cerakote it, and then I'm going to put new wheel bearings, put tires on the rims, and then reassemble everything. So it should be a pretty fun video. Let's get into it. First thing I got to do is finish trying to remove these exhaust bolts that broke off in the head. So I'm going to put the nut over the broken bolt and where it covers the aluminum but not the steel bolt. So I had a few failed methods of trying to get these bolts out. So I'm taking washers and welding them on level, and then I might try to take some sockets and weld those on. I don't really know. I'm just trying to figure out exactly how to get these things out because these are stuck in here really, really good. So now we'll start with this one. I don't have another washer for that one right now, so we'll come back to it. Woo! Nice. One more. Last one, heck yeah. Woo! So I go ahead and clean up the motor, and when the frame gets in, I can start putting it together. Alright, so this is pretty nasty. This is the GSXR 1000 clutch cover. I'm going to sandblast this, see if I can get this really clean. I'm probably going to bake it in the oven really quick before I sit there and try to weld on it. Try to get any kind of imperfections out of it, just because I'm pretty sure this is cast, and cast always has tons of impurities in it. And so I'm going to see what I can do. Kind of hard to see, but I'm going to go at it. Alright, so I sandblasted it a little bit. I'm going to go back and do it some more, but so this piece is worn down a tad bit. So I might just try to flatten that out a little bit And then this area I might try to build back up. Or you know what? I might just try to sand down the whole entire thing. It doesn't look that bad. I don't know, we'll see. Alright, so I got the clutch cover in there, baking, to bake all the oils out of it, if I do decide to weld on it. So I'm gonna try to flatten the entire thing, smooth it all out. It's gonna take some metal off of this, obviously, but instead of welding on it and possibly warping it, I'm just gonna try to sand it down. All right, that actually looks pretty good. Super flat, looks really good. Looks pretty good. Alright, so instead of bothering with this one, or even this stator cover, they're actually pretty cheap. So I decided I'm just going to order another one, a gasket and a cover. It's coming from China, it's going to take a little while, but $35. The reason I didn't want to do that with the clutch cover is because that thing was over 200 bucks, and I just didn't want to spend that. So that's why I'm going to repaint that clutch cover. Alright, so I just pre-baked the clutch cover in the oven, and I'm going to coat it black like I did these levers. And let's see, this area looks pretty good. I'm pretty excited to get this thing back on the bike so I can put the whole thing together. Alright, so I'm about to do 18 milliliters because it's only 1 milliliter of catalyst, so I'm going to do that real quick. And I'm just going to use that to mix it up. Now I'm going to take it over to the paint gun. It's cold enough. Alright, this looks pretty good. Alright, so I'm gonna turn that off. Alright, so I reinstalled the sensor and clean the gasket surface. It was actually a paper gasket, that's why I got a new one. And it turned out pretty nicely. Looks a lot better than it did. So I'm gonna put this back on. And I actually cleaned this gasket surface too. Looks really nice. So I'm about to put it on really quickly. Alright, so I got a washer right there and a washer right here on the starter gear and the gear that connects the starter gear to the crank. So I should be good, and I have a centering dowel pin and a centering dowel pin right there. Throw that sucker on. And I put a little bit of sealant right there just to help out with the sealant. Here we go. Alright, so I'm going to clean up the motor real quick. Look at this nasty crap on this water pump. I gotta clean that off before I can install it again. Now that the water pump is nice and clean, I can install it again. Alright, it looks pretty good. Next step is to change the spark plugs before I put it in the bike. And then I'm actually going to use my bore scope to look inside each cylinder before I put the new spark plug in. Just cuz. What the frick? So first I have the actual unit, then I got the camera. So I'm gonna plug it in. This is the DS450 with the dual camera on it. All right, so I'm gonna turn it on. All right, so it's blurry far away, but it gets really good quality up close. And now I'm just gonna stick it down the cylinder and see what I see. Still got really good cross hatching. So nothing to be concerned with, and so I'm going to put the spark plug in now. I'm just going to put a tad bit of anti-seize on the threads, just ever so slightly. And somebody said in the CBR 1000 video that I kind of chunk them down there and it could bend the top of the spark plug, and so I'm just going to gently put them in there this time to make sure I don't knock that gap off. Just gently. I'm gonna come back and torque them all in a second. That one doesn't look bad. Pretty good cross hatching. I'm pretty happy with that. Just a tad bit of anti-seize. So there's a little wear right there. It actually looks like there's a lot of oil on that wall. Still looks pretty good. Looks pretty good. All right, new spark plugs. There we go. All right. Just gonna sit the motor down. All right, so I just got the powder coat in, and I'm about to pull this. Oh man, it's beautiful. Such beautiful powder coat job. He actually pressed the wheel bearings back in for me, and I didn't really need him to do that because I got new wheel bearings, so I'm gonna press those in real quick. All right, so I'm gonna try to pull these wheel bearings out. So you're gonna put it in there, slide it around till it gets on the groove on the other side of the wheel bearing, and then you're gonna tighten it up. You should be able to just pull it right out. Like that. Now yank up. Alright, so I took the old bearings out and I actually put the new bearings in the freezer, but I put them in just a few minutes ago, so they didn't have time to shrink. So I'm actually gonna get them mounted on the tires real quick. I have a set of Continentals, brand new ones, to put on, and then I'll press those in after I put the tires on, maybe this afternoon, tonight or so, once they shrunk, so they hopefully slide in here a lot easier. So I got the rims and tires right there, ready to put together, and I'm actually at my local shop because I don't have a tire machine yet, and I don't want a chance damaging that powder coat. So anyway, I'm at CC Riders here in South Lakeland off of 98, mainly because I love the owner. He's really cool, down to earth. There's another shop nearby that I tried out when he wasn't open, and well, they damaged my tire putting it on, and they took like 40 minutes to put it on the rim, which I thought was crazy excessive with a tire machine. So anyway, plus it was just really crappy. They didn't look like they ran a tight ship. So anyway, CC Riders I really, really like, and that's where I'm getting it done. So let's go take it in there. There are the bearings. Should be tiny and cold and shrunk. So I'm gonna put this piece in. Lubricate it. Unfortunately, it doesn't slide down in there like perfect, but all right, so I got the frame, swing arm, subframe parts, wheels with new bearings and fresh tires, and then I got the motor and the forks. Everything is ready to be put together. Let's do it. All right, so I'm gonna put the frame on now. All right, so now I can put the swing arm on. So I'm going to put the lower triple tree in with the steering stem. So I got one bearing. I'm going to pack it really good. I'll put it on the steering stem. Next step is to do the top bearing. Then you can put the sucker back through. Make sure that's seated right. Put the top race on. Try to get on there where it's all the way seated. Put the seal on. Put the cap on. Put the locking washer on there. You can actually So I got the motor inside the frame with the swing arm suspended, ready to put the wheels, forks, and the subframe on. Everything's starting to look pretty good. Only thing that I need to wait for is the stator cover and a few more parts like the radiator. I also have something else coming. I can't remember what it is, but it's looking pretty good. But definitely make sure this milled side is down. The milled side facing downward. Make sure the flat area is downward. The one that has the receded piece for the bolts. Alright, so I got the axle. There's actually one spacer. The other side of the axle actually acts as the spacer itself. Make sure the rotation is going the right direction. Rotation is going this way. Gonna lubricate the axle. This side is the one that needs the axle spacer. All right. Gonna put the kickstand on. this sucker on. Then gonna put this sucker on. All right, since I got the throttle body sitting on here, I'm just gonna go ahead and put them on the boots, pull the covers off, stuff out from inside the, make sure everything's out of there, everything's cleaned up, the boots are loosened, and then you can push the throttle bodies down onto the boots. You should feel them seat pretty good. All right. Pull this electrical through here. I didn't take it out of the tray, just so to make it easier to put it back in. The ECU sits over that bracket. And you screw this down over that. So I'm going to put this in. Hooks in on top of the motor. Clicks in up top. I'm going to put the wiring harness down around the throttle body. Went from right to left. The white was the far left. It looks like this big plug goes down into here, into this channel. It's going to connect up here. So that's actually it for this video. Unfortunately, I'm sorry that I did not complete the reassembly of this bike. It's looking good so far, but I just have so much going on. And it's a mess in here. Me and Morgan actually purchased a house. The past 45 days we've been closing, and then this upcoming Tuesday, we should be signing the documents, doing the final walkthrough and everything. So I should be able to move in on Tuesday, theoretically. It's going to take me multiple days of constantly moving to move all of this crap. But I'm going to do it. Anyway, so I'm not going to be able to finish up this bike until maybe a few weeks. Again, I don't really know. I'm almost finished boxing up my parts shelf. These are nothing but boxes of motorcycle parts, and I still have some. Obviously, this is the big stuff, but still, I got so much more to do. I just have a huge mess everywhere because there's just so much crap I got to box up. Sorry I couldn't finish this up, but hopefully I can resume it in a few weeks, back when I'm fully moved into my new place. I'm super excited to show y'all. Until then, see y'all later.